The retired soldier only wanted to grab a bite to eat in town, but he was stopped by the local sheriff. Seeing his shabby appearance, the sheriff assumed he was just a drifter looking for trouble. He drove him out of town by force, warning him never to set foot there again, or else he'd be thrown in jail. Already in low spirits, Rambo didn't take the warning to heart. He turned back toward town anyway, since it was the only road that led him home. This sight completely enraged the sheriff, who immediately swung his car around, caught up to him, and barked another order for Rambo to leave.
All right, you're under arrest. You hear me? Now put your hands on the car.
Rambo ignored the shouting. Furious, the sheriff pulled his gun and threatened to investigate him by force.
You decide right now.
Though Rambo was frustrated, he didn't want any trouble. He placed his hands on the roof. The sheriff searched him and found an M9 combat knife, instantly convinced the man must be dangerous. He decided to bring him back to the station for questioning. That knife, to Rambo, was a symbol of his combat honor. But in the sheriff's eyes, it was evidence of a crime. Soon Rambo was taken into the interrogation room. As the deputy questioned him, Rambo sank into silence, his eyes fixed on the window. That window suddenly brought back memories of the torture he had suffered in a Vietnamese POW camp. A cop stepped forward, demanding to see his dog tags.
Hey, you got 3 seconds before I break your face in.
Rambo had no choice but to let them take his tags. Only then did the deputy realize he was a Vietnam veteran, though he still dismissed him as nothing. In the end, Rambo was sentenced to 90 days in custody and fined $250. When he removed his shirt, revealing his body covered in scars, a young officer suggested reporting it to higher-ups, but the deputy couldn't care less.
Galt, what the fuck was that?
Next, they blasted Rambo with a high-pressure hose, mocking him the whole time. But when they brought out a razor to shave his hair, the sharp blade instantly triggered flashbacks of his days in captivity. At that moment, his mind could no longer tell past from present. To him, it felt like he was back on that battlefield again. His survival instincts kicked in, and he refused to endure it any longer. Hearing the commotion, the sheriff rushed in, only to be kicked down by Rambo. The soldier's instincts had fully awakened. He easily took down every officer in the room. Rambo seized back his knife and bolted from the station. To escape their pursuit once and for all, he stole a motorcycle and sped away.